Buenos dias, estudiantes. Today we want to continue talking about time. There's a few extra things I want to add. I know it's a tough concept, so that's why there's two videos out there. The last time we talked, I spoke of the light side and the dark side, and that has to deal with the minutes of the clock. The minutes of the clock separate the light side and the dark side. Light side, the minutes of the hour have to be 00 to 30. Okay, when we have that, we'll have just a happy time where we just say the light side, son las siete. All right, son las siete, as we've learned, y quince. Okay, son las siete y quince. That's happy. That's kind of how we do it in English. That's why I call it the light side. All we have to do is say it's 7 and 15. Now, over on the dark side, if you'll remember, things are a little bit different. We have to use our till phrase. Well, the way we do the till phrase, as in if we were using 8:40. And using the till phrase, we would say that's 20 minutes till 9. Well, we're kind of doing that when we say it's son las 9 menos, and you have to do math. How many minutes does it take to get to 9? 20. 20. So this side requires you to think a little bit. I called it traditional because it is traditional. This is a traditional way of telling time. Students who have been here, speak Spanish, have been here for many, many years or their entire lives, they may not tell time this way, but I am showing you the traditional way, and that is the way that I wish that you would report on the test and record on the test and any kind of exercises that we have in the future. Make sure you use that way. All right, so let's add a few things. Let's go over here to 7:15. Remember, this is the light side of the clock. So we're actually going to add a few things here. 7:15, I'm going to call it AM. 7:15 AM. So there's a time, there's something to use there to indicate that it is 7:15 in the morning rather than at night. And then there's also another word we can use instead of quince. So in English, we have different words. We can use the word 15, like 7:15, or we can say quarter, as in quarter past or quarter till. Spanish has that word too. So we can use quince, but we can also use the word cuarto. Cuarto is the word for quarter. Now you can clearly see it, cuarto. It kind of looks like cuatro, so be very, very careful. It's very close to cuatro. You can see the cuarto. Cuatro would switch this T and the R around, but it looks like cuatro, so be very careful. But you can see cuarto there, and hopefully you can connect to the word it means, quarter. All right? Now, let's take care of this AM part. 7:15 a.m. son las 7:15. I'll go ahead and mark this out for now since we can use both, but we're focusing on this one. Cuarto, now we're going to use de la mañana. I hope that did not run out. Yes, you can still see it. Perfect. Son las 7:15 de la mañana. So of the morning is what you're saying there. Now let's go over to, let's stay on the blue side actually. Let's stay on the blue side because, we can talk about, let's say, 4. 4, and we'll say 4:30. Now we learned that could be son las cuatro y, because it's still in the light side, so we're going to just say it's still 30, all the way to 30. So son las 4:30. But just like we have the word half past, they have a word too. Now it's not half past, it's just the word half. So son las will be my starting point. Son las, and I'm going to put cuatro here because we're still on the light side. Cuatro, cuatro. Hey, you see here? Cuatro, cuarto, very close. Son las 4 y instead of 30, I'll use media. Son las 4:30. Now, this 4:30, we can make it p.m. Okay? Now, at this point in time, we're still in the afternoon. The sun is still up. It's not quite setting yet. It's still up. We still got a few hours before sundown. So it's the afternoon. So we'll use de la tarde. Okay? De la tarde. You probably remember that from buenas tardes. Okay? Now, let's come back over to the dark side. We'll use the dark side now. Dark side, I can still use quarter just like we can use in English. Quarter till, quarter past. We use both. So we can do the same thing. Let's now talk about, let's go 11:45. Okay? There's your quarter, 15 minutes to go in the hour. So since we're on the dark side and we have to subtract, son las 12 menos, and I could use quince, but I can also use the word for quarter, and that will be cuarto. So that word is used again. It can be used over here, over on the light side, where we're saying that it's son las 7:15, or it can be used right here to subtract son las 12 minus quarter, a quarter. So we're subtracting a quarter from the time, okay? Oh, keep that in mind. I've had a few questions. This quarter with time, I know most of you know it, but it's not 25. It's 15 because you can break down the clock into 4 15-minute segments. A fourth is a quarter. That's where it comes from. All right, let's try one more. Oh, almost forgot. Almost forgot. Because we talked about the morning, we talked about the afternoon. Let's get the night in there. 11:45 p.m., most certainly night. So if I wanted to add that, son las 12 menos cuarto de la noche. So we can get at night out of that. So it's 12, son las 12 minus a quarter at night is what we're saying there. Let's now erase. There's a couple more phrases that we might need to have. When we have a few special times that happen every day, a few special times that I'll use the black marker here, even though these, you know what, take that back. I'll use the blue marker because it is on the blue side, on both of them, because these two special times would be midday and midnight, okay? Midday would be noon, okay? That's what we call noon, all right? In Spanish, if we wanted to say it is noon, okay? We don't need de la tarde, we don't need de la noche, we don't need de la mañana, because noon is noon. Es mediodía. That's one word, es mediodía. Now, we also have midnight. And that again, special time, and that would be AM. Okay? Es mediodía. And now for midnight, we would have es media noche. All right. I want to point out a couple things. One, yes, this medio and media mean the same thing. That's even the same media that we use that I showed you just recently, just earlier. Let's go 4 minutes ago when we were talking about half past. Same media. Notice that up here, es mediodía, it's an o, and then here, media noche is an a, okay? That's because of gender, okay? We've talked about gender before, and we're going to get further and further into gender as we continue out this year. But dia is a masculine word, even though it ends in an A. It's a weird one. I know there are some weird ones out there. Dia happens to be one of them. But dia is masculine. That's why the word medio has to be medio. And noche is feminine, as we've learned before. Noche is feminine. That's why it's media dia. We learned the same thing when we talked about buenos dias, okay, and buenas, noches. We learned the same thing. Now you can see it. We learned the same thing when we talked about those two words. Buenos dias, OS being masculine, right there. Buenos dias and buenas noches, AS, because noches is feminine. All right. So there's some more practice with time. Time is still a bit confusing. It's okay. It's fine. It is for everyone every year. That's not a problem. That's why there's 2 lessons on it. Expect some extra work in Carnegie. You'll see that later on today. Actually, it could be up right now. Depending on when you're listening to this, it will be up right now. Go do it. Hasta luego.